The Loyalties of the Land of Israel, a letter for the First Convention of the Jewish Authority to the entire Jewish citizens of the free territories in Eretz Israel. If a Jew can freely live in Hebron, North Dakota, he should freely live in the city of the Patriarchs of Hebron, Judea. If a Jewish family can dwell in Bethel, Ohio, it must be able to live in the original Bethel, Samaria. But today the Israelis living in Judea and Samaria risk to be turned against in Jewish refugees, and the security of the state of Israel will be at existential risk. It happened after Gush Katif, that was a national implosion and disgrace that caused enormous physical, psychological, social, cultural, military and strategic damage to the entire Jewish nation. The disengagement left a deep wound that will not heal, not only because Jewish lives and homes were destroyed, but because it was immoral, unjust and irrational. It was part of an anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish and anti-democratic trend. After Gush Katif, the terror leaders have held press conference saying that they are moving their battle to Judea and Samaria and will transfer their rockets to the edges of the urban centers of Israel, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Hadera, Netanya. The so-called settlers, Jewish citizens of the Judea and Samaria, are today leading a unique and historical battle for the safety and the integrity of the state of Israel and the Jewish people. Very few public personalities in Israel today have the same courage and strength to defend the Jewish rights. The Israelis living in Judea and Samaria are a teeny figure in the Middle Eastern conflict, but for many reasons the key of Israel's futures lies on their shoulders and hearts. Land for peace is the new Western opiate for masses, but for Israel is a way for committing suicide. In a time of global terrorism, monstrous anti-Semitism and Western appeasement to evil, those who have taken it upon themselves to defend the Jewish homeland and rights need and deserve all the support. And sovereignty, the ability of a government to act independently and in its own interests, is the essence of statehood and self-defense. The roots of Jewish sovereignty in the land of Israel are modern and political, but they are also biblical, grounded in Jewish history. The first and second temples, commonwealths and civilization that flourished in the land of Israel, especially in Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria. Rome has its Colosseum and Athens has its Acropolis, but for the Western citizens don't feel any connection to their ancient sites. Instead, Elon Moreh, Shiloh, Bethel, Hebron, Gush Etzion, just to name some of them, these names are providing the Jews with intimate emotional links between present, past and future. Jewish national and religious consciousness is the primary basis for the State of Israel's existence. If Israel's legitimacy would be rooted only in a resolution of the United Nations, tomorrow it could be revoked by the same assembly. The State of Israel, therefore, on behalf of the Jewish people, has the moral and political responsibility to say the truth. The land of Israel, including Judea and Samaria, legitimately, legally and historically belongs to the Jewish people. Proclaiming Jewish rather than simply Israeli sovereignty is an authentic statement of the relationship between the Jewish people and the land of Israel. Israel, claim to a permanent presence in Judea and Samaria, passes two critical tests. This area belongs to the Jewish nations on the basis of the historical record, and Israel needs them on the basis of strategic considerations. The Jewish towns and houses beyond the so-called Green Line are the backbone of Israel's security. We should first remember that the same word settlers refers to the secular kibbutzim of the 30s and 40s as well as post-1948 outposts such as Ashkelon. Professor Weiss's initiative is also a humanitarian event. The Israeli media has cruelly exploited the settler to manipulate public opinion. After the Oslo talks every settler killed by terrorists was a price of peace, a barbaric concept and perversion of humanism. The expelled residents of Gush Katif, the farmers of Atzmona, Katif, Netzarim, Netzarazania, Kfar Darom, the surfers and fishermen of Shirat Hayam, the Torah scholars of Neve Dekalim and the mothers of Gadid, are the finest sons and daughters of Israel. They are the bravest soldiers and the most patriotic citizens that Israel has produced. But overwhelmingly, the Western media and intellectuals ignored and downplayed the terror atrocities suffered by the Jews of Judea and Samaria. It's a dehumanization process, part of Israel's destructions, as it happened during the Second World War. The Jews had to be dehumanized before being taken to the gas chambers. To deny the right of Jews to live anywhere in Israel makes them lesser in nationhood than any other people. In the 16th century, many Polish towns obtained the so-called privilegia de not tolerandis Judaeis. That means cities where the Jews were forbidden to live in. Europe had then the Jewish ghettos during the Middle Ages, the zoning restrictions in the Tsarist Russia, and the Nazi Russian Hande laws that meant to ghettoizing the Jews and separate them. Israel today faces an historical movement of demonization and evaporization that involves its security, religion, diplomacy, culture, and statehood. The solution doesn't lie in more appeasement, self-hatred, and self-rejection by the Jewish people. The nightmare that Israel had endured with the destruction of the Jewish Gaza must be the starting point for a new period in Israeli history, a period of hope, confidence, strength, and hope. Thank you very much, Giulio Miaotti.